welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. Just like Jack just said, this is the second iteration of Toolbox Tuesday for Navigo. This is going to be new features, new additions, things like that. If you haven't seen the first one, I definitely recommend that. I'm going to go ahead and put the tutorial in the chat right now for everybody. This is our YouTube channel. So you can check that out, see the first one that covers basics like logging in and sending applications via email, text, whatever the case may be. So if you guys have any questions, definitely shoot us an email, sales@paycompass.com. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen real quick. Yeah, Navigo screen's up.
Are you presenting something? Oh, okay.
I am. Sorry about that. All right, let's make sure everybody can see my screen. Awesome. So here's the login. We'll just go over real quick basic. If anybody has any issues logging in, remember, you can always select forgot password, forgot username, but that's the easy one. It's always going to be your first initial and last name, right? So mine would be C Torres. If you select forgot password, just enter your email and it'll send you a password link. So let's go ahead and get logged in here.
Hey, Chris. Quick suggestion. You sound a little muffled and some people can't really
okay.
hear you. Yeah.
Okay, give me one second. I'll disconnect my headphones.
All right, can you guys hear me better this way?
Yes.
Worse? Same.
No, you sound much better.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, give me 1 second here. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And again, remember, this is kind of part two. One of the main things I want to go over, the very first thing, obviously this is a test environment, what you guys are seeing. First thing I want to go over is new application, right? So whether you're doing new application or partial application, we do have several application types in here now. In fact, we'll be adding even more in the coming months. So obviously we have the Evolve, First Data North, we have the First Data Omaha, and the TSYS application. So we will be having kind of little help descriptors in here just so you know the different cutoff times for these products, things like that. We have been getting some issues where somebody boards on a TSYS or First Data Omaha, and then they need a later cutoff time. We have to reboard it for First Data North. So we're going to go ahead and put some kind of help notes up here for you to understand what each application is for. But I just wanted to show you guys that this has been out here for a little while now. We do have the First Data North, and it works the exact same way as the other ones. You just select the application, and then boom, you can start filling out the module. All right. Any questions here? So Jackie, I'll stop just every few minutes, see if there's any questions on any of these applications that we might answer. Awesome. Awesome. Next thing I want to show you is a really cool feature. It's pricing templates. So as you guys know, we're trying to make everything easy, streamlined for you. This is now live in Navigo right now, and this is going to be the pricing template. This has actually been out like a week or two. So what you're going to do here, this is going to help you just speed up the app process. I've gone in here and created some pricing templates. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm just going to select add pricing template. And this is basically going to take me right to my pricing module, right? So I can pre-select whatever price I want, and then I'm going to give it a name up here. I always recommend you guys do, I made some right here real quick, just kind of give you an example of what I think a good naming convention would be. So you remember automatically, this one's flat 3%, flat rate 4%. Up here, 70 basis points, 10 cents an authorization, 25 cents a batch, $25 service. So if I click in here, that's what my pricing is going to be set at, right? So this is just an easy way to kind of remember what these templates, what the data is inside. So when I go do a new application, I'm going to show you how we can actually apply these. Let me X out of here. Go to my dashboard. 1 second. So let's say I want to email this application. Remember, we can email it, we can text it. I'm going to select partial application. I'm going to select pricing and equipment setup. This is what I'm going to fill out ahead of time before I send it to my merchant. I'm going to throw it on the First Data North app, put in a DBA name, and of course, my email address. I'm sorry, not my email address, my merchant's email address. But you can put whatever email address you want in here. Or if you don't put an email address, again, this will just save it in the background. So let me show you what this looks like. The bottom here is where my pricing templates are, right? So if I have one pre-selected, I'm going to go ahead and select this bottom one, 70 basis points. And when I hit start, it's going to take me to this pricing and equipment setup module. So I can verify this is the pricing that I selected. This was my template. It's all ready to go. And then I can add my notes here if I want. I'm going to go ahead and select next. And if I want to add attachments, I can do that. That's pretty much it. And if you look in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see that it gave me a successful message saying I went ahead and sent it. Actually, this one didn't do it because I didn't put an email address in there. So let's do that. There's my email, select my template. There's the message I want right here at the bottom, right there. All right, so that tells me that I went ahead and sent this using the template. I don't have to go field to field, figure out what I want. If you select, whatever your favorites are, let's say you got 10 of them, boom, super easy, right? So again, you can do this on your phone, you can do it on your tablet, whatever access you can access Navigo with. All right, so that's what I recommend for the pricing template naming conventions. Just make it something that you're going to remember. It's going to be make your life a lot easier. Super quick. All right. Awesome. Next one's going to be our new comp drill down. We did get some feedback for the drill down and compensation. So I want to show you what that looks like with a test account here. We did consolidate some of these categories, so it's a little more easier to read. We have it by first data, thesis, and then other sponsor banks, and of course your high risk. The goal ultimately here, guys, is to have this be on a merchant level. But some of you big money high rollers got a lot of merchants, so we're kind of figuring out how to present that data. But our next iteration of this is going to be complete API connectivity with MX Connect. So we've started that already. So you're going to be able to see every single merchant, your profit and loss on every single one. So this is going to be about as drill down as we can do right now with the data that we have. But once we get the systems talking to each other, there's gonna be tons of stuff here you'll be able to drill down into. So this is actually really a really neat feature we added on the right here is the calendar. This is the pay date calendar. So this shows you when it is that you're going to get paid, right? So we pay on the 25th, of course. It's a weekend holiday. It's the day prior, but you can page through here and see in October, November, the coming months, when is that pay date actually going to be? And keep in mind, this is your deposit total right here. This column says deposit total. This is how much money actually goes into your account after your expenses, right? And if you want kind of a breakdown of what those are, the deductions, things like that, you can, if you have them, they'll appear right here. All right. And any questions, guys? Remember, accounting@paycompass.com. The finance team can add some clarity to any issues you might have with your compensation. Any issues accessing this information, or if you don't see it and you think, hey man, I should have some residual, some payment data there, let us know for sure. All right. Any questions so far, Jackie?
Yes, a couple came in.
Awesome.
Boarding on First Data North, do they still get next day funding? Say they close out at 10 p.m. PST, when will they get the funding?
Yes, they will get it the next day. If I remember correctly, I believe the funding is later in the later half of the morning. So it could be, 10, 11, 12, because I know the funding is later. I'd have to check with the support team for specifics on that, but I know it is a little bit later and that it's not 6 in the morning because we tested it, but it is a little bit later. So yes, 2 a.m. cutoff for next day funding. Obviously, if the account is set up to do that, it is going to do that.
Another one that came in is cutoff times would be very helpful addition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great suggestion. That's exactly what we're going to do. One of the suggestions we had was just, in the naming convention right here, maybe a cutoff time at the very end, 2 a.m. That's absolutely going to happen. So you're going to see that here probably within the next few weeks.
And then the last one, does the Amex 70 BPS in this example include the 15 BPS extra cost, or do we need to then change the Amex rate to 85 BPS to account for that?
Great question. So this does not, I just made this at 70 basis points all around, but you can go in here and change this to, you know, whatever based on your cost. If you want to price your Visa, MasterCard, Discover one way, your Amex another, you're welcome to do that just like you would any regular application. So whatever price you put in here, that's the price that's going to go on the MPA. Remember, it's based on your cost. You can charge as little or as much as you want. But to make things easier, I absolutely would recommend you put that in the naming convention. It might make it a little bit longer, you know, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, 70 basis points, Amex 85. That's up to you. Great question.
Those are all the questions in the chat.
Awesome. Those are easy. A really cool feature that we deployed is the forums feature. You can go in here, it's live now. Let me show you what this looks like actually. So you're going to select forum up here. And it's going to take you to the community forums. This is a really neat tool that a lot of agents were looking for agents to interact with each other, right? So Derek wins the prize. He had the first live post. He got sneaky, got in there early. We deployed this last night. He found it. So you can, you know, you can just go in here and ask a question. You don't need to put your real name in here. You can put a fake name. You can put anonymous. You know, maybe I'll put Justin's name in here and post something controversial. Who knows? But anyway, this is a great thing for agents to interact. You guys are going to love it. A lot of experience out there, a lot of people wanting to help other people. The team leads that we have are amazing, and they're just looking for agents to help out, right? We all know an agent that's off by themselves, not getting a whole lot of support from their company. So when they come here, they really feel the family, they really feel the love. And this is just another tool that I think is really going to promote that. So I definitely recommend you go on there, start interacting. We are going to we're going to add some notifications to this. The team is working on that right now. And going into the notifications, you're going to be able to get a text, or you're going to be able to get an email. And you can pick which one of those you turn off and turn on. One thing I will let people know, that the forums is not for support. The support team isn't in here, so you can't go, hey, I got this install question, blah, blah, blah. You can ask other agents that, and maybe they can help you. But if you want to get to support in a chat/text fashion, you can always text us. It's 725-COMPASS. So that's 725-266-7227. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat as well for you, so you can have that. So if you feel like chatting with Jathan, you know, just see what he's doing. Just kind of hanging out. Give him something to do. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me put this in the chat. Looks like we had a question here. I'm assuming that with an API integration for MX into Navigo for reporting will also include merchant statements to pull. That is correct. That is correct. That's exactly how it's going to work. Everything's going to be in here. Everything's going to live in Navigo. It doesn't matter, you know, what bank it's from. We're going to have APIs to all those banks, so you should be able to access that data. Good question. Awesome. You guys are easy. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was the SMS notification feature. So when you log in here, if you want, you can go to account profile. This is your account profile, and you can put your phone number in here. So you're going to select the edit button. You can select your phone, not select your phone number, put your phone number in here. And this is where you're going to be able to check whether you want notifications. So if you don't want any notifications at all from Navigo, you can unselect both the boxes. If you want email, if you want text, you can select one or the other. So let me show you what that actually looks like. First, I'll show you what the application submission email looks like, and that's right here. Am I sharing the notification or just Navigo, Jackie? Can't tell from my own screen. Do you guys see the notification?
Yeah.
I'm zooming in right now, no?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, sweet. So this is the
No.
email that you get. This is the email that you get. And let me show you what the text message is going to look like. So if you do turn this on, when a merchant signs the application, submits it, you're going to get this text message if you choose to, right? If you choose to have that on, if you choose to put your phone number in there, you don't have to. We don't put that in there when we create you as an agent. So it's completely up to you. All right. Excellent. Any questions so far, Jackie?
Not questions, but suggestions.
Oh, let's have it. Let's hear it.
One reads, not to beat a dead horse, but can those merchant statements from priority look a bit nicer? Like, for example, breaking the card type, etc. Need better priority statements.
Gotcha. Totally hear that. I know, I believe Rob can jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, but we are working on that. We will have control of those statements. We've been trying to work on that for a long time. A lot of feedback on that as well. So yeah, that's actually in the works, and we're actually a lot closer than we've ever been to that. For sure.
That was it for the chat.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions regarding Navigo as a whole? Any issues or feedback you guys might have? Obviously we're very, very open to feedback. A lot of the functionality that we have has come from feedback. So what we do with feedback is we evaluate it and kind of determine, is this something that all agents can benefit from? Is this something that's worth the two developers committing time and testing to make this functionality a reality? So that's where a lot of this comes from. So kind of leaning into that, I want to obviously recognize the two developers we have. Jace Alexander, Zach Sumcam is is the main developer. He's been here since day one. Those guys are awesome. They're always busting their butts. Anytime Navigo has an issue, they fix it super, super fast. So my hat's off to those guys. This obviously wouldn't exist without them. So shout out to them for sure. I know it's a lot. There's going to be more coming in the coming months, but the main project right now, guys, is the MX Connect and Bank API. I want to have all of your data, no matter where your deal is, no matter what bank it is. If it's with PayCompass, it's going to be in Navigo. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be CRM functionality. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you're really going to enjoy. Awesome. Any other questions, Jackie?
No, just another suggestion came in. My understanding is that mailed statements actually are normal, nice statements, but not the online ones. So you can submit a request for paper statements for the merchant.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can. Absolutely. And I believe you do that upon submission, because I think there's a checkbox that the sales quarters need to check if they do want statements. And I don't know if all banks do that. Again, I'm not 100% on that point. I know some banks actually, you don't even have the choice to do that. But again, we'll if you do need that, we'll definitely do what we can to help get that done for you.
Another question came in. When is residuals live in Navigo?
Residuals was live in Navigo last month, right here under compensation. So this is where you're going to go to check your residuals. Again, these are going to be the categories. If you do have, hardware deductions, software deductions, you can select those and it'll give you an exact output of where those costs are. And that kind of leads me into my next one. If you guys don't know where your hardware and software price list, I know marketing sends those out, but definitely check that out when you go in there, because that can definitely affect price. Obviously the cost of the account. So definitely work those in. There's some agents that don't really look at their costs very much. And again, just like somebody mentioned, the 15 extra basis points on Amex, you definitely got to make that a condition of submitting the account.
Another question came in related to compensation.
Sure.
What day will they see comp before payday?
So that varies. We're trying to get it out as fast as we can. I know the finance team gets it around the middle of the month. So it kind of depends on the day it falls, but it'll typically be there a couple days before the 25th. So on or around the 22nd or 23rd is our goal. We've only had compensation in here for a couple months, but the sooner we get it, obviously the sooner the finance team can work on it. As that process evolves, it's going to be faster and faster and faster. Then eventually, when we have the comp data, we have the APIs talking to each other, it'll be the instant we get it, Navigo will do the calculations and then display it. So long term, it's going to be a day or two after we get it, which is about the middle of the month. So definitely at least a week before residuals are paid. But again, that's not right now. That's when we have Navigo, MX Connect talking to each other, playing nice. That's going to be the end goal right there. But for now, it'll be probably about a couple days before the pay date? Great question.
Those are all the questions on the chat.
Awesome. See, looks like we have another question. Marketing materials at some point through Navigo? Absolutely. We absolutely are going to have that. Emily, our new director of marketing, is busting her butt. Jackie's busting her butt to get all of our marketing together in one place. We are going to have, I don't know if it's going to be in Navigo at some point. You'll be able to go in there, select your marketing. So that way you don't have to email them. It's going to be very self-serve. Put your phone number, put your email address. They have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. But yes, it will live in Navigo as well. It's exciting stuff.
Would we like to open the floor for anyone that has questions? You feel free to unmute yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And this is a little off subject, but we were talking about statements. All the statements I've seen from Toast is 249 and 15 cents, and then 269 and everything 15 cents. On that 249, is it 249 for check card as well? Is it bundled that way, or do they break check card out?
You're talking about on the statements?
Toast statement. Toast.
Hey, this is Jeannie. The Toast statements that I've looked at don't break out the check card. It's just Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express.
Well, I was just wanting to use that as a tool against them.
You gotta look at the effective rate. I mean, it might not break it all down, but if your effective rate's 3.5%, then you know that there's something in there they're not showing you, right?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions about statements, you need statement analysis help, yeah, shoot it over to sales@paycompass.com, and we get to work looking at that for you. Okay, any other questions related to Navigo? I think we'll probably do another tutorial within a couple months. We have some new functionality. Hopefully, we'll definitely have some traction on the APIs. It's going to take a few months. That is a huge project that you got to kind of eat as an elephant, one little piece at a time. But in the end, just like Navigo, we've been talking about it, some iteration of it for a couple years now. It's going to be easy. You're going to love it. It's going to help you take your business to the next level for sure, guys. All right, that's all I had, Jackie.
All right, then if there isn't any further questions, then that concludes our second Toolbox Tuesday for September. Thank you, Chris, for joining us today and providing us insight on the many developing features in Navigo. Thank you, everyone. A reminder mentioned at the beginning of the call, this call was recorded and will be uploaded to the YouTube channel for you to rewatch. A mass email will follow informing you that the video is live on the channel. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next week at Coffees with Closers. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, guys.